I'm just gonna start it a half an hour early. I don't think anybody's waiting already, but maybe people will come in once I start. I warned ahead of time on Blue Sky, but only by just a couple of minutes. Hopefully my audio is fine. Nobody's here right away to catch it if it's not. Okay. I just got my own notification, so that probably means people will come in at some point. Oh, I see I have one live viewer. Hello. Hello, welcome to whoever that is. Oh, hello! Hi, we have people in the chat, so the one concurrent viewer thing is just not accurate. It told me one concurrent viewer, but then a bunch of viewers saying hello in chat. Hi! Hello! I took a really big nap, and I just woke up, and I was feeling like socializing. So I figured I might as well come do a little stream. Oh no, Soph Dog, I hope your head feels better. I had to lay down because my head also hurt because it was raining, and the rain is not good for me. It was raining all week, and then I think it was beautiful today, but it was kind of cloudy. Anyway, I've been doing a lot of rain naps, and then as soon as I said I had to sleep because it's raining, I'm like, wait, no, I think today it didn't rain, but my head still hurt. Anyway, I slept for I thought I was going to take like an hour nap, and then I ended up sleeping for like 3.5 or 4 hours, and now it's late at night, and it means that, well, it's like 8:30, and I did not accomplish much today. Hi, Rendered Fat, it's good to see you. I just thought I had something on my chin, but I think it's just my laptop screen. Yeah, so how's everyone doing tonight? We're not gonna watch it, and I haven't watched the whole thing. But did anybody watch Kirsty Flaw's new gossip slop upload about me? It was called something to the effect of like, "This is offensive to all women" or something like that. She clearly did not read the entire article that I was quoted in for The Guardian, but she read part of it. She told her audience how it's so terrible that I called her slop because slop means low effort, in a video that she managed to put out like within a couple of hours of that article from The Guardian coming out, and talked about how I'm like a modern feminist who is trying to tear down other women, and how I should actually be going after the elite and the powerful like Blake Lively, and that's why I've had a ton of her fans coming and leaving me bullshit comments again, which is funny because they had forgotten about me in the last few months because she talks so much shit about so many things that they were distracted. They went on to other things, but now because she brought them back, but now everybody thinks that I like want their opinion on my feminism, and I got like, I've been getting, it's kind of funny, they're going to my Instagram this time, which I really don't care. I don't post on Instagram very often. Lately, if I get like in like a write-up or something, I will post it on Instagram because I like the idea of like having it easy to look at on the grid. But I haven't been looking at Instagram very much at all. And suddenly now I have people commenting on my Instagram. I got like a message, I got a DM that was like, "I'm a 70-year-old feminist." Let me pull it up actually, because it was funny. I don't know if this was the same person as left me that original old-time feminist comment the other day that I read when we were on live. It might have been somebody else. But I got this message, and it is from a woman named Paulette Todd on Instagram. As a 70-year-old feminist, I do not believe someone just because they are female. How dumb is that? Which that's another thing Kirsty said in the video about me, was that I'm a modern feminist who believes that you should believe in the elite females, and also she accused me of like I'm like attacking other content creators who are just trying to make a living, which is like, she's the one who put a copyright strike on my channel. And then she kind of like dances around that. Like, I don't think she really admitted, like, and I did go after her, but she's like, and YouTube sent her a copyright strike. And she's like, and she said to YouTube with the copyright strike that she's disabled, so her income needs to be protected. And that has nothing to do with her watching 4 hours of my videos or whatever the fuck. And it's like, again, she struck me on the 1 minute clip in the video essay long before she struck me on the live stream. For two, if it's bad that I'm not going after the elite and that I'm going after real women, how the fuck is it okay for Kirsty Flaw to send her tens of thousands of followers after me when I have less than 20,000 subscribers? Like, anything that she tries to wield against me so clearly is true about herself. She is mean. She is a bully. And she's not even mentioned that disparagingly in the Guardian article. Like, it's brought up that she sells t-shirts, but she's not even really brought up as an example of the ecosystem, just her little bump clip. Like, we didn't even talk about her coming after me for using it when I did that interview. But yeah, Steve saw it too, the Kirsty video, because I just was like, she doesn't even notice. She doesn't even notice that the fact that she put that out like within 4 hours and had nothing meaningful to say and had not read the entire article in question proves my thesis that she makes slop. Sorry, I'm just like sitting here with a soda in my hand. I feel like I'm advertising, but I was getting too heated. You're so bad attacking creators just because they have terrible opinions. Right. Also, like, if I made 8 more videos right now about Kirsty Flaw, which I won't because there isn't even that much interesting to say, if I made 8 more videos about Kirsty Flaw, I would still have made an order of magnitude less videos about Kirsty than she has about Blake Lively. Like, maybe even 10 times less if I had made 10 videos. It is so funny to me that she thinks that she gets to sit here and say that I'm like coming after other women on my YouTube channel or whatever. Yeah, so there's been a lot of traffic from these idiots who are one of them like commented on my Hunger Games epilogue video, and they were like, hello, it's just a movie, Hollywood make-believe, hello? And then on one of my other videos, they left me paragraphs and paragraphs, and they were like, well, obviously you're so stupid you can't tell the difference between a make-believe movie and real life. So, like, they thought they saw that I talked about the Hunger Games epilogue for an hour and a half, and they thought that I was like, Katniss Everdeen is a real person and she's my friend and she's less feminist because she didn't have babies, or well, I kind of butchered the thesis of that. But, like, it's not like I was sitting there saying the Hunger Games is a real thing that happened. Dumb fuck. Like, are you kidding? It's so funny. If a slop seems generous, actually. Thank you, Junk Farm. Also, hi, Aaron. I feel like I haven't seen you in a bit. Hi, Jem. You shouldn't believe someone just because they're a woman. Okay, so I don't believe anything Kirsty says. Am I doing it right? Exactly. Our understanding of feminism has progressed since the 70s, as it should progress. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what even is an original feminist as opposed to what reboot feminists? Flaw fans believe that Blue Ivy is Beyonce's clone. Their opinions come from odd places. Wow. Also, Blue Ivy is so tall. I saw a video. I saw the video the other day where like the 3 of them, like Beyonce and Blue Ivy, and I can't remember what the other sister's name is, but the other sister is in the front. And Blue Ivy is just so tall. She's very tall. I did not realize how tall she was. She's very tall. She's really pretty. It's really fucking weird to call her Beyonce's clone. That's like, I don't like that. And I'm also like, I'm not like a huge, I never saw like the Renaissance tour movie or anything. Like, I'm not like a super huge Beyonce fan. I also never saw the Eras tour movie either though, so I'm just not so much into that. But I didn't realize that that wasn't like a really short little girl anymore. Like, she's obviously still a little girl. I think she's only like 13 years old. But like, she's tall. I just got Hang on, I just got a message from Trash Discourse asking if a lesbian joke would be offensive. If you ever wonder what happens behind the scenes with some of your favorite with some of your favorite commentary YouTubers who have less than like 20,000 subscribers or whatever. Reach out to each other and say, hey. Okay, I think the lesbian joke is funny. I am responding right now. I think the lesbian joke is funny. I am responding live on stream because I saw it and laughed at my phone. LOL. Okay. Okay, yeah. They don't literally think that, but they are conservative boomers. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I just got very distracted by the fact that like I children grow up very fast. My nephews are like teenagers now, or getting there, and it's weird. Okay. Aren't the original feminists from the suffrage era wearing hoop skirts and all? Yes, yes. That's the thing about like if you call yourself an original old time feminist, you mean like a suffragette, like um it's there's not it's just I just even and also the books that you read when you've been a feminist for longer than me still exist now, so like it's not a given that you have read more books than me, and you probably haven't. If you and I are coming at like a different analysis of the situation, we probably have not read the same feminist texts. Yeah, hat pins for stabbing, very OG feminist. My 15-year-old nephew is 6'3". They grow so fast. That's so tall. That's so tall. Um, yeah, I think because it's been a few years since I've seen any of my nephews. And I'm one of them is bound to be growing nearly as tall as me by the next time I see them, I think, and that's gonna be so weird for me because they're permanently little toddler babies in my mind. I was there next to Eve telling her she would be a girl boss if she ate the forbidden fruit. I'm an OG. I'm the original feminist. I actually wore the first "This is what a feminist looks like" shirt. Like, I don't know. I think like when people love to come at me and they're like, I've been a feminist for longer than you and that's why I hate women. It's like, okay, but have you ever been a feminist at any point? Have you ever engaged with any kind of like theory, or have you ever like thought about like what the fuck you're saying? I just hate it. Um and also, like, to have benefited from feminism throughout your lifetime is just to be a woman. It's not to be a feminist. So people love to pretend like, oh, just because I have benefited from feminism means that I am a better feminist than these people who are doing feminism right now. And it's just so lazy and devoid of like thought and empathy. You want to be able to rely on the fact that you have considered yourself a feminist for a long time and not think about the fact that you're buying into a hate campaign against a woman. You want to make yourself feel better with the fact that you have considered yourself a liberal forever, so you're not considering the fact that you are agreeing with Candace fucking Owens and Megan fucking Kelly. And like people are telling me, people are arguing with me whether or not this is political. And again, like, what other major conversation topics at CPAC are we lying to ourselves and saying isn't political? But that's like a lot of the comments that I'm getting are like, this isn't political. I think that's also a way that Kirsty defended herself, is she was saying that oh, it's just so silly. Kirsty was saying that because she is not eligible to vote in the United States, that her content cannot be part of a political pipeline. Which is certainly a way to understand what's being said when we talk about alt-right pipelines, I guess. Like, it's not like we were saying, it's not like we were saying this is a direct arm of the Trump administration, right? Like, she thinks that because it's not like electorally political, it's not political, and then all of the liberals in her audience are being like, yeah, you're right, this isn't political, it's just women be lying. The amount of comments on her video saying I'm a liberal butt and proceeding to trash Blake. Right. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. They're like agreeing. They're like agreeing with her. Because she also was like, I don't care if you're a liberal. I don't care if you're a conservative. I think your politics are great. Everyone's welcome here. I'm sorry, that's not the case here. Everyone's politics are welcome here only in as far as I cannot install an extension that would automatically block everybody who voted for Donald Trump from watching my videos. If I could do that, I would do that. I don't care if that meant that I never made it to 1 million subscribers. I have no aspirations of making it to 1 million subscribers. I am perfectly content only ever being like niche viral, and even viral is a bigger word than I want most of the time. Like, I just want to do comfortably. I want to be able to like have time to respond to comments on my videos and do live streams and stuff. If I possibly could filter conservatives out from ever watching or enjoying or interacting with my videos, I would. And somebody has been commenting for the last few weeks to months, like including on the on like the short that I did where I was talking about how to call you representatives, commenting on my stuff and being like, oh, I really like you, but I'm a conservative, I'm right wing, oh no, if you only knew, if you only knew my political leanings, nobody here would like me. And I kept rolling my eyes at it and ignoring it. And then when I posted my my like interest taking thing about whether or not people would watch a Handmaid's Tale video, she's like, I really want to have a debate and a discussion with some of y'all because you're the only non-crazy feminists, and all the other feminists are crazy, but I feel like if you knew what I believe, you wouldn't like me. And I didn't respond to that, and nobody else responded to it either because my audience is pretty fucking good at not taking bait. But today I had enough. And I kind of just wanted to read this, not because I'm like still actively angry at this person or whatever, because this is all only really exasperation to me at most. But I just want to read this for the same kind of reason that I wanted to read the article. For the same kind of reason that I wanted to read the article that I was cited in yesterday, where it's just like, if this is something I'm saying, it can be part of what I'm saying, and you can find it on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to clear my throat, and then I'm going to read to you a comment interaction that I had, and then the root post was deleted, like the root comment was deleted, so you can't find this anymore. But I just want this on the record. And if you're on Blue Sky, you've already seen this because I already posted about this today. But let me just make sure that this is right. She claims she's not going to be commenting or watching my stuff anymore, so it's probably fine. Okay. Can you see that I had the Quentin Reviews Failure of Victorious video open? That's embarrassing. Okay. Well, it's not embarrassing, but it is embarrassing that I watched that a million times when I should be doing other things. Okay. So the comment was on where I posted my like my guardian poll, and this was again like the third or fourth time that she's tried to like have some kind of political discourse. She said, as a right-wing conservative, actually I was always moderate, but some leftist ideas pushed me right. But I am proud of you. I don't understand what Candace's deal is, but most people aren't going to look at the details and facts, and I have had a problem with how Candace trashes women for a long time. Most conservatives just don't care about celebrities, so they will take sides without researching. I usually don't care about celebrities, but I also don't take a stance unless I do care enough to research it. These smears are brutal, but the algorithm has a really hard time figuring me out. Ha! And I responded, because again, like, it's just been over and over again asking me for some kind of absolution for the fact that they wanted me to say hi, it's okay, I don't mind how you vote, and I'm never gonna give that to somebody. I'm just never gonna give that to somebody. I do mind how you vote. Your vote has consequences. I mind how you vote. If you vote against me, it impacts how I think about you. So I responded because I've been thinking this kind of thing every time she comments like this. And I said, I can't lie. I think it's incredibly weird every time you mention how you consistently vote against my rights. I don't know what else to interpret from being told a viewer is right-wing, ... You vote against my right to be married, yes? You vote against my right to continue to have health care because I am disabled and I am on Medicaid. You vote against my right to get an abortion if I were to be sexually assaulted and impregnated. That's before I even get to your vote that hurts people I love and who I care about, before I get to the votes for deportation or against trans rights. ... Maybe no one's told you that that's what you're saying when you come and tell a disabled lesbian, but I'm still a Republican and I like your videos, but I do not know what to make of someone liking my videos when they're still so defensive of their right to vote in a way that sees me as subhuman. And then the other interaction we had is still up on my YouTube. But I'll that's not the one I meant to hide. But I'll pull that one up next. Because it's still up, but I don't know, it might disappear. But like I felt like I knew that was going to probably not go over super well. Like I didn't expect her to be like, well, I'm never gonna vote Republican again or anything. But I did think maybe at least the thread would be left up, and it wasn't. And so now over here, I'll just fix the cropping a little bit. Because again, I don't even know what it was she wanted. Like, I don't know if she wanted like absolution. I don't know if she thought maybe I'm not that serious about it when I talk about how much I hate right-wingers, but like I don't. And also, as I also said on Blue Sky, please tell me in very specific detail which leftist positions pushed you right. Was it when you got asked not to be racist? Was it when you got asked not to be transphobic? Like, what was too much? What got you to the point where they pulled out the mass deportation signs at the RNC and you didn't say, oh, my soul is fucking rotten. My soul is fucking rotten and I am evil and I can never vote for these people again. Because if you didn't get there when they brought out those fucking mass deportation signs, I do not think you are an empathetic enough human being to actually connect with anything I'm saying on a meaningful level. I think you're rotten. I think you have rotten molding floorboards in your heart and your brain and your capacity for empathy, if that wasn't too much for you. And how is the treatment of Blake Lively one single little bridge too far? How is the treatment of Blake Lively a bridge too far and not the treatment of like women who are being held in detention centers, right? Like how are we just anyway, I have no I have no sympathy in my heart for people who were pushed to the right by the leftists. Like, like, I just, if you know you feel bad about it, maybe you are bad about it. Maybe I'm not going to tell you, don't worry about it. I'm so glad you're proud of me, even though I think that your morals are not good. Um, So the comment that she left, she deleted the original thread. It's not there anymore. And then she commented again. And I even looked in my email. I don't think anybody else even responded to her because I don't always check my email for comments. It's like a completely different email address than my normal one. But like I checked the email address that the YouTube channel is hooked to see if somebody else had attacked her because she uses the word attacked. And like, I don't think that I attacked her. I don't think that I don't think that I was nice. I was not doing like frills and fluffs about how it's okay for her to vote against me. But I don't think that I attacked her. I don't think that I was mad. Anyway, so basically I'm unsubscribing and not watching any more of your content, and am done commenting, as I don't appreciate being attacked by other women on a channel claiming to care about women. But congrats, and best of luck. I guess trying to be supportive of people that have different opinions was a mistake, as always. Keep fighting for Blake for me. And I said, I replied and I said, did someone else respond to you, or are you characterizing me listing the tangible ways someone who self-describes as right-wing votes against my interest on a deeply personal level, parentheses marriage, health, safety, and parentheses as an attack? Maybe I missed the attack while I was in the shower, but I just pointed out that you've left a bunch of comments where you mentioned being a conservative, and that I never know what you want from me about that, since the conservative pet issues are ones that hurt me and my loved ones a lot. And she never came back for that because she's done commenting, I guess. But again, like I don't want conservative viewers. I don't want to be asked to make conservative viewers feel better about the fact that they enjoy my content while they also enjoy voting against me. Like, I don't understand. Being blunt is attacking, right? Right. What do people expect when they say shit like that? Exactly. I'm pretty sure that like on your comment was me. Thank you. I think she's here because she's under the misconception that you defend all women, even the ones who are bad. Right. I saw somebody say, let me find this one because it was funny. It made me laugh. This one, I should have known it was from Rendered Fat. It's giving, I didn't support Blake Lively because she was sexually harassed. I support her because she's a white woman. Clearly we're not the same. Frowny face. Good morning from Australia. We just had our election, and happy to say us lefties won in a landslide. We aren't going down the Trump path. Heart eyes emoji. Amazing, Jane. Congratulations. Thank you for letting me know. That is very good. I love that for you. You're not a girl's girl if you don't love girls who hate girls. When we say women's rights and women's wrongs, we mean things like shoplifting, not voting against others' rights. Exactly. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I'm just leaning in because my vision is really bad and I can't tell if your name is Leia or Layla. And I want to make sure I'm saying it right. Is it, how do I say your name? Is it Layla? Layla? I think I said that wrong. But I thank you so much for the super chat. And please, if you can let me know if it's Layla or Leela. I just want to make sure that I'm able to say it right when I thank you. But I appreciate it very much. I saw a video that was like, if you truly believe pro-choicers are baby killers, then why do you want to be our friends? Exactly. Oh my God. Okay, that's the thing. I completely agree. If we have such differing opinions, and if you're voting that way, why you should think I'm a murderer. Like, I mean, you should think that the sign that I have on my wall that says I heart abortion is morally the same thing as me saying I heart murdering innocent people. And you clearly don't think that because you have been watching my videos and commenting on them. And like, you have been willing to take certain parts of what I'm saying and like it. If you truly thought of me that way, you wouldn't. You don't actually believe abortion is murder. It just makes you sad to think about. Like, it's it's fucking fine if things make you sad to think about. It doesn't make the people who did them murderers. And it makes you a hyperbolic piece of shit that you're running around trying to say that people are. Yeah, genuinely. Like, if you, like, God. Yeah, I mean, I do think it is possible. Living dead girls, some maggots, especially women, start having cognitive dissonance, and it's sad to see how sometimes they just need some support from leftists to get out of that cult. I do like. There's got to be some level of like looking around and like and yeah, like they want to be our friends. They're seeing that like the feminist women are able to have supportive relationships with each other, and that we're able to like fucking like I just. And then there's like, oh, I can't be part of that on account of my votes tangibly harm people. Okay, stop voting that way then. Stop voting that way. Stop being that way. Whatever, like, fiscal interests you have been seduced into prioritizing above human rights and human lives are not worth it. Let it go. If you want the leftists to think you're cool, you could try not being evil. Conservatives have this weird thing where instead of not wanting to support people who do things they don't like, they'd rather support them and tell them to change. I don't get it. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's also true. Maybe there's some idea that if you watch the the lesbian feminist videos and you tell her that you like her and you support her, but that you are a conservative, you'll like bring her around to your side or something. But like that's not gonna fucking happen. Rendered fat. They want our friendship because we are unfortunately very cool and understanding and won't judge them for having an epidural or buying takeout or liking the birdcage. Yeah. And I guess also with like my video like my video like a setup where I'm like doing like a conversational commentary video, and it's like it's very friendly. I guess it makes more sense than it does to me from this side of it, how somebody can have like the dissonance of like, oh, this is my friend Ophi, which is also why I feel like I try to it's also why I Oh, thank you so much. I'm chill with any pronunciation. When I say I support women's wrongs, I mean I support hot, evil ladies first and foremost. Shoplifting shouldn't be a crime. Exactly. Agree. Yes. Thank you so much for the super chat. Conservatives have this weird idea where the people they all personally know who are part of a group they are taught to hate just happen to miraculously be the only good member of that group. Yeah, and like I feel like I'm a pretty like default lesbian. Like there are a lot of lesbians who are a lot like me. I have a lot of friends who have pretty much the same exact political and moral alignment as I do, right? And I just don't understand. And so, but like, yeah, I mean, I guess, not that I'm like intentionally parasocial about it or whatever, but like, I guess for some people it is harder to have the distance of like, you watch my videos and I say, I love you, bye, have a good day at the end of the videos. And so you're like, oh, she does love me. And like I love having an audience. I love my community. I do not love the people who try to sneak into that community and be part of that community while they voted in ways that tangibly harm me and the people I care about. Like, right? Like, but I think people convince themselves, oh, she said she loves me, so maybe she'll make me feel better about the way that I vote. And like, no, I won't. I will never, ever be that woman who makes you feel better about it. The lesbian feminist with dyed hair and Daria glasses and posts about her cat is totally cool with conservatives thinking she's icky but watching her videos anyway. Like, bye, we like this circle small. Exactly! Exactly. And people have told me before, like, oh, you will... That's why I said earlier, I don't care if it means I never get, like, whatever big subscriber plaque or whatever. People have told me before, like, you would have wider appeal if you weren't, like, so obvious about the fact that you hate conservatives. And it's like, the way conservatives vote is hateful of me. Like, I have every single right to say, hey, if you voted for this shit, I don't like you because you voted in this way. And then they're offended and they're like, well, I just think people have the right to vote however they want. Did I say they should go to prison? I said I'm not their friend and I don't like them. I am allowed to dislike people for much sillier reasons than who they voted for. Seeing conservatives in the wild is strange. How do you live like that? It's like walking into a decrepit house that is somehow being lived in. Right. They live like that, but they love woke media. Because there's nothing fun to watch on PureFlix. There's no good characters. There's no good characters on Great American Family. Nobody's like Candace Cameron Bure and the kind of art that she is making is not pulling anyone to the edge of their seat. Like, they have to engage with secular media because religious media is simply not as good. I don't like YouTubers who avoid topics that they know will alienate their conservative audience. Me neither. I want people to be able to, like, be comfortable with where I stand. And sometimes if I'm watching somebody and it feels like there would be, like, a really good moment for it to be made clear how they stand on something and they don't, it makes me not like it as much. Is it possible she was drawn to you because you broke out of your religious upbringing? I'm not sure. She's been commenting on a bunch of my Blake Lively things, so I guess for whatever reason, like, the treatment of Blake Lively is the last straw. And, like, maybe that can be a last straw to somebody where they start to realize, like, oh, like, as somebody else, like, responded to me on Blue Sky today and said, like, it's not I'm gonna butcher it, sorry. But it's not only Blake Lively who Candace Owens hates, right? And, like, Candace Owens' treatment of women is not just a random thing. It's a response to the fact that that's what her audience wants, and her audience is a conservative audience, and that's what they want. Oh, thank you for the super chat. My mom is Mormon and she watched Supernatural with a very baby-sized me in the same room. If anything sparked my falling out of religion, it was that. Oh, Slime Kitten Void, have a good night. Ovi, my wife just got home. I'm gonna be lesbian now. Have fun! Have fun. She might have actually been a fan of Blake Lively. That's a good call. It really might have been that. Especially with the parting line being, like, keep fighting for Blake for me. Which, like, I will keep doing that, but it is not for you, lady. Christian media was good when they were doing metalcore. What about Flyleaf? My lady, maybe it's a stepping stone back to the left for her, but that doesn't mean you have to coddle her to do that. Yeah, I agree. I hope she looks back at your comment one day and thinks about it more objectively. That's the thing, is, like, again, like I said, I know I wasn't, like, super nice and flowery about it, but also, I do think that could have snapped somebody out of it if they were really close to the edge, but I'm not sure. And then also they're commenting, well, they'll comment on my Kirsty Flaw video and then also go comment on the Twilight video or whatever, which is, again, funny. Like, they don't They don't know the difference between they don't know the difference between me doing media analysis and me doing pop culture analysis. Oh, sorry, I abuse having money to make people listen to me. Never ever have to apologize for that here. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Um, yeah, I don't know if you watched my I don't know if you watched my epilogue, not my epilogue video, my Breaking Dawn video, but I just had an interview call with a friend of mine who is ex-Mormon, and that was really fun. I'm really proud of that part of the video. It's been really fun to get comments on that part of the video. I can see some conservatives coming to your channel through outing Alexa for hypocrisy with Drake Bell. They got their Save the Children thing. That's true too. I do think some of the people, there was somebody who had been commenting on my Alexa videos, and when I posted something the night of the election being like, hey everyone, I'm sorry and I love you, they were like, God bless America and God bless Donald Trump. And I comment blocked them for that, because you're not gonna fucking do that for me on election night. Like, while I'm sitting there having a panic attack, and while everybody who's commenting also has been like really struggling. And then that was right before I did my my collab with Mika's Rhetoric, and Mika Mika was getting comments where somebody was like, Ophi literally comment blocked somebody just for saying God bless America. And like it wasn't for God bless America. It was for God bless Donald Trump. But also, if you got comment blocked for saying God bless America at the wrong time, you probably weren't reading the fucking room. Like, if I don't want to have it here, I don't have to have it here. I watched the Breaking Dawn video combining my current special interest, hyperfixation, media analysis, and Mormonism. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. When you commit to change and want to atone for the people you've hurt, then yeah, but we don't have to hold your hand while you admit you don't want to change your mind. Exactly. Right. I'm not going to make you feel better about it. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Xmos seem to be a lot of your audience. I don't want to analyze this further. I know. So I knew of a handful of people. I think specifically from specifically from like Blue Sky, because I'll see them post about other things too. I knew that I had like a handful of ex-Mormon viewers, but I feel like especially since I posted the interview with Kaya, a lot of people have been like, oh, I'm Exmo, and I think that's very fun. I think there's obviously there's a lot of things that are new and fresh to me, as was evidenced by my live on camera response to God was a guy from a planet named Kolob, which I was not prepared for. But there were a lot of things that also do have a lot of like familiarity with me for the way that I was raised in like a non-denominational kind of like fundamentalist church. So it's really interesting, but like there's just so much more to the Mormon lore. It's really interesting to learn about. I think you get the sort of mental damage when people say they're conservative and watch your channel, as I did when a friend said I seemed churchy. Thank you for the super chat. I was trying to explain to somebody a couple years ago that I was like an extremely churchy teenager, and I was like, I don't think I would have guessed that about myself if I met myself as a 26-year-old. But like, I went to church on Sundays. I taught little kids in Sunday school. I would try to do like the toddlers before I had to actually do like a curriculum. But like I would go babysit toddlers during Sunday school when I was a teenager. I volunteered for Vacation Bible School. And then when I was a little bit older of a teenager and I was going to a Lutheran church, I was doing like an internship at a church because it was the only way that I could like not be at home. So it was like an internship, and we would do like a Bible study in the morning, and then they would literally just have a bunch of us teenagers like do like manual labor around the church. We took down a big deck at one point. But I was and I was in confirmation classes too at the same time at one point, even though I had been baptized as a non-denominational baby. I got confirmed as a teenager in the Lutheran church because they wouldn't let me have communion if I wasn't confirmed. And then I was like, I still think I'm gay. I don't know how to not get gay. And I got baptized another time after going to one of those like teenage Christian youth conferences at a mega church in Memphis. I got baptized another time just in case that would help, and it didn't. I was still gay. Me, rendered fat, and don't smoke in bed run into each other quite a bit. LOL. I don't know how I feel like I know how at least one of you feels about drugs, but like that is a bit of a dream blunt rotation, I must admit. It's a very good group. You got second baptized because you were gay? I think that's the first time anybody's ever actually related to that story. Bap twice. Bap twice is really good, Ellie. Bap twice is really funny. At a mega church in Memphis is my favorite Lana Del Rey song. Baptized, confirmed, and Lutheran queer over here. They're okay with the gays. I think they're like a lot of them are, but the church that I went to was like they were doing that whole like, you can be gay, but you can't like advertise your sin. So like if you were gay, you could be part of the church, but you couldn't be like in the worship band or like in any kind of leadership role. And they said that it was because of it was because you needed to like not actually be gay. But then I have heard from other people who are Lutheran that the Lutherans are like totally fine. So like I think it varies from like church to church or whatever. But yeah. Oh, I just don't want Layla to feel alone in the super chats. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I literally convinced myself I was cured because I still loved men. Jesus Christ, no wonder we love Chapel Roan. What the fuck? Exactly. Yes. Baptized once for me, baptized over 100 times for the dead. I'm really glad that Kaya told me like the specifics of that, because I knew like just a little bit, but yikes. Yeah, that's so interesting that we had a similar experience with that. Homeschooler, 3 baptisms under my belt, still queer as fuck. I love that. Okay, so you beat me by 1, but I was also homeschooled. I think being homeschooled makes it easier to talk yourself into thinking that multiple baptisms will have an effect. Jem, I got baptized at a public pool. So the first time that I got baptized, I was like 3 or 4, which is another reason why when I was older and I was trying to be like, maybe if I get really, really extra churchy, I won't be gay. I ended up getting baptized again. But I got baptized in like, we had like a baptism tank in the Fundy church I grew up in. And there was like a curtain in front of it, and it would just open during part of the church service, and they would baptize anybody who wanted to be baptized. So I was baptized like that when I was little, and then the second time that I was baptized was at like a big outreach event that the Lutheran church I went to in Arkansas was doing, and they did like a big baptism event at so it was like a car dealership that also sold boats. and where they sold boats was like a lower part of the car dealership that was like in the water. Like it was like it like goes down and there was water. And they like had a deal with the boat dealership, that they would baptize people in the place where the boats that they sell usually are. And so they did like a big event, and they would have people come, and I was there. I was doing face painting, because again I was very churchy. I was volunteering. I was not planning on getting baptized again that same night. But I was really struggling with like feeling like I was gay. And I was gay, and that's not a struggle anymore. But I was really churchy, and a lot of the stuff in the way that was raised is like, you are kind of, I mean, I feel like this is going to be offensive to people who are like genuinely religious, but this is just because it's my experience, right? Like there would be a song, me and Olafab hanging bubblegum in our row in the Okie Dokie school bus and looking up in unison whenever anything interesting comes up. Thank you very much for the super chat. So my experience with church was like there would be a song that would get really overplayed, you know, for sure there's like real emotional experiences people can have to music, but a lot of the way that the live music worked in the churches I grew up in was like kind of intentionally emotionally manipulative, I would say. And so there was this song that was like really, really big. If anybody was Christian or like evangelical around 2014, you probably know it. But the song Oceans, the song Oceans came on at the Christian event, and in retrospect, of course it did. It was the most popular Christian song, but it's like a song that's like about wanting to believe in God more, and my whole thing at that point was that I was like, maybe if I believe in God more I won't be gay. And so I was like, oh, I'm getting like called out into the ocean, I'm gonna go get baptized again, and then that'll make me not gay. But I didn't tell anybody or anything that was why. That was like fully internal motivation. Like I was so fucking terrified to like confess to somebody that I was gay. I told my bishop I was gay, and I got my temple recommend revoked. That's horrible. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I didn't come out to anybody in the church. And then, honestly, the second baptism didn't really work, and I got home. I got home from that night, and I had been baptized, and I was really excited about it. And my mother wasn't at that event, which she had planned on going to and then didn't go to. But because my mother didn't go, and I got baptized at something that my mother didn't go to, I got in heinous trouble. Oh my God, she yelled at me for like a fucking hour and a half. I don't think anybody on the history of the planet has gotten in as much trouble from their Christian mother for getting baptized as I did. But like, that is the level to which I could do nothing right. Because I came home and I was like, I'm like peak churchy. I'm like, oh my God, I had this spiritual experience. I was so excited. I felt like I was talking to God, and I got baptized again, and I'm just really excited, and especially because I just got confirmed, blah, blah, blah. Nope, I'm in trouble. I'm in so much trouble about it. And that kind of did it for me. Like I went the next summer when my youth group went to that youth conference in Memphis. Like I went again the next summer, but I had a terrible experience. And when I got home, so at some point between the second baptism not working and the next summer that I went to that church conference, I did mention to my older sister that I was that I made a joke relating myself to the character Amy from the MTV classic Faking It. because that was where I had heard the word bi-curious recently. And I made a joke about being bi-curious, and then when I was away at this church conference, my sister told my mom, purportedly in the interest of trying to make my mom less homophobic. We pretend I believe that. And I came home from this church conference, and while I was at the church conference, one of the youth leaders who was there with my church was like telling me that I shouldn't take antidepressants because if I was suicidal and I was depressed, it was because that was how God wanted me to feel. So like I shouldn't be questioning God by taking my antidepressants. And that's the kind of shit that my mom would have been really upset about if it happened to her. So I came home and I told my mom, and instead of being like supported about the fact that I had been like encouraged not to take my antidepressants while I was at a church conference by somebody who was like a leader, I was in trouble because it had gotten back to my mom that I had made a joke about being bi-curious, and I was told explicitly and in as many words, basically, you can't be a Christian and be gay, and you can't be a Christian and care about gay rights. And I literally remember in my brain in that exact moment as my mother was yelling at me when I had just gotten home from that thing in Memphis, I was like, I guess I'm not a Christian. Like it literally, it weighed that much on me. And I was still like telling myself that I might not be gay. Like I still thought that I was just an ally and that I was like at worst bi-curious, at worst, like at best bi-curious. I still was not, I didn't even know for sure that I was gay at that point. But when my mom told me you can't be an ally and a Christian, I was like, I guess I'm not a Christian then. After having been like confirmed and doing the churchy internships and stuff. So that's a little bit of Ophi religious trauma lore here. It's fine, I kiss girls now. Wear that. Oh, hell yeah. I was so confidently queer as a youth in the early 2000s that I went up to my pastor and asked him if he would marry me and my future partner if my future partner was a woman, and he didn't miss a beat and was like, of course. That's really sweet. I love that. I bet y'all miss the magic panties the most. Kissing girls better than Temple recommend. Oh, hell yeah. I sadly never got the magic panties. I would have cut them up to make Magic Expo art. Not to be too pedantic, but baptisms never work. You didn't get a defective baptism. Well, it's funnier, though, to pretend like I have gay Teflon. I ended up like moving away from home, and that's like kind of a long story, but I left my parents' house while I was still like closeted because I had to cry and like promise that I was straight to get out of that conversation. That was like the only time I was in more trouble than I was for getting baptized, honestly. But I didn't end up actually like coming out until after I was living with my aunt, who I lived with after I lived with my brother. And I found out that one of my sisters was pregnant via Facebook, and then I found out that the other one was engaged via Facebook, and she didn't tell me, and this was before I was no contact. And I was really angry, and this is so funny and so stupid, but like I was literally like, I was angry. The people who were close to me at that point in my life knew that I was gay, because I had not been living with my parents for like about 6 months at that point. And I came out on Facebook out of spite, because I was like, hey, fuck you, I've got something you can learn on Facebook too. Which is so stupid and is so silly. But that is how I came out. I just like, I tagged myself on Facebook at like a queer youth center that I was going to in Seattle, and I'm actually, as silly and ridiculous as it is to spite come out, I'm glad that I did come out on Facebook because it meant that my grandmother, my grandma on my mom's side, sent me a message, and she was like, I think you did the right thing by coming out, by tagging yourself at the youth center. Sweetie, many of us have known for many years, and we do not care. Which, like, I did not know, how my maternal grandmother was going to feel about that at all. Like, I didn't really remember her being homophobic or anything. But many of us have known, for many years, and we did not care, and we do not care. It makes me laugh every time I think about it. They. they did. She knew, and then she told me about how she had an uncle who was gay, who she loved very much, which I hadn't even known about. And so I'm very glad that I was able to have that relationship, like because we were kind of close when I was growing up, and then like we hadn't been for a while. I feel like I'm really blurry right now. We hadn't been for a while since like moving to Arkansas and stuff. So I'm just really glad that I was able to have that interaction with her, specifically about me coming out, before she passed away, because she did pass away like a year later or something like that. No, the camera is very out of focus. I think if we move a little closer, is it better? There we go. Yeah, it was very out of focus. I came out via PowerPoint. I love that. That's the response I'm hoping for. That gives me hope. Absolutely. When I came out to my parents, my mom said with no sense of irony, "I don't understand. All your friends are girls." So rough. I like how she's just like, "We knew before you." Right. That's the thing too. It's like she said for many years, and I wouldn't have even said I had known for many years. My niece was like, "I'm dating a girl," and I said, "Yeah, I've known, LOL." Sound is good. Yay. I think I noticed, I think I realized that what was happening the night that it was really, really crunchy, it was just too close to me. I think I just need to keep this further away. Many grandparents think their grandchildren hung the moon. I often see stories of grandparents being more supportive than the parents. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. When my ex-girlfriend's mom passed, I took her to my grandma's, and when she left, I told grandma, so this wasn't my friend, this was my girlfriend. And she's like, "Yeah, I know, duh." I'm lucky my mom was supportive. I was young, so she told me that it's okay that I am, and not to put labels on myself too soon, because I might have more to discover. We don't talk about my dad's reaction. I'm glad that she was supportive. My kid moved their girlfriend in and just found out they're not roommates and said, "That's cool." I love that. I never really had to come out because it was so obvious to everyone except me. I just thought making out with anyone was chill. I never even kissed a girl until long after I came out. Like until like the summer after the winter that I came out in. Like it was all very theoretical for me. And I think people knew, and I also think that like the fact that it was obvious is why I had to like closet myself so hard for my mother's sake. I have memories of one time being like, I was like 11 or 12, and I was like taller than my sisters and my mom, and but because I was the youngest, I still had to sit in the middle seat in the car, and I had to sit in the front middle seat of like a 6-seat like car that is more comfortable when there's only 4 people in it. And because literally the options were like sit with my knees to my chest on like the little thing in the middle of the console, or put my legs on the other side, I like sat with my legs like off to one side. I don't know if this makes any sense, but like I sat with my legs off to one side, and like here's the passenger seat. And my mom, I distinctly remember that this was before I had even realized that I was even remotely gay, but my mom was like, oh, we're sorry about that. We think she's the L word. And I only remember because I remember my cousin joking and being like, Lebanese? But like they knew. Like as funny as it is to imagine my grandmother just like deciding that she was going to pretend that she knew I was gay all along. I think everybody did know. Because I think that it wouldn't have intimidated my mother so much to try to like force me into being something I wasn't, if it wasn't like obvious that I was, I guess. I did kiss several girls in my early 20s just for fun. Good for you. Good for you, Lady Kittybug. Yeah, I did have a seatbelt at least. My mom came around, but it took like 2 years of arguing about it, referring to being trans. She never cared about being gay or anything. It's been 6 or 7 years since then. I'm glad she came around. I'm sorry that you had to argue about it, though. That really sucks. Lady Kittybug, my husband had to confirm my bi-ness because it felt like I wasn't bi because I'd only ever dated men and got shoved back in the closet a few times. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the other response that I saw to it as well. I'm seeing validation happening. I see Jem said high five, and then I think somebody else responded to, oh, I felt like I was stolen valoring bisexuality. Um, Honestly, that makes so much sense to me, but it makes me really sad when people feel that way. And like one of the things that I always kind of bring up for that is like I knew that I was a lesbian for like a solid maybe 6, 8 months before I knew, like, before I kissed a girl. And I knew that I liked girls for a long time before that. And I didn't like girls any less in the time between realizing that about myself and, like, having my first girlfriend. And I also don't like girls any less in the time that it's been since I last had a girlfriend and now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand, especially with bisexuality, because bisexuals are so often presumed to be lying or exaggerating or like trying to get stolen credit, stolen valor, like whatever. That's so often the way that people are talking about it that it makes sense to me that that would be really hard not to internalize. But like it if it doesn't make a difference um whether or not I am like currently dating a woman, because I'm not dating and I haven't been dating for a few years because I'm not really interested in it right now. Um, it doesn't make a difference in my lesbianism. And so then therefore like having a husband, having a boyfriend, that doesn't make a difference in anybody's bisexuality either. Um, and obviously it doesn't feel that way when every 3 months and especially every June the big quirky trendy thing is to be like shitting on bi women with boyfriends for whatever reason. But I just find that shit so uncool and so unendearing when people want to have some kind of when people want to have some kind of superiority over bi women. I just hate it, and it makes me sad. So yeah, I'm sorry that I don't have anything like more intelligent to say about that other than like it makes sense. But it does make sense to me, and I hate it. Anyone who says that bisexual people aren't queer has never seen a bisexual try to parallel park or cuff their jeans, to be quite honest. I feel like I just don't want to take away from the Woolawul and Mullawum who had the guts to actually stand up to their family and live their truth. I know I'm queer, but I'm privileged, and I chose safety over authenticity. I really I don't see it that way. Like I mean, I guess it's just because, right, like you and I are in a you and I are in a space right now where the way that we're hanging out like is informed by the fact that we're both queer, right? Like I know that you're like I know that we have more things in common than we do otherwise. And I feel like that's how I feel with like almost all bisexual women, and that's a way that I feel whether or not their bisexuality has like directly came up with them with their family. Like I don't know. I don't know. I think it makes sense. Again, like I understand why there's like a level of frustration, and I I wish that there was a better way to validate. But like there's just, yeah, yes, exactly. Thank you, Sunny. Thank you. The gays are in this together. We are not in a competition. I love you all. Exactly. Like it doesn't um if somebody chooses not to take what is like kind of a nuclear option with their family, I don't blame them for that. I think that that's fine, and I think that that's like it makes sense to me when it's something that somebody has to do, especially if it's going to like have a direct impact on like your day-to-day lived life. Like if you are going to marry a woman, if you get married, it makes more sense to need to come out to your family and have that fight ahead of time, right? And like if somebody if somebody is not having that fight, I don't assume that it means that they're not like, I don't know. I'm not assuming that it means that they're not actually queer. I'm not assuming that it means that that's not something that weighs on them. Like it means that that's kind of like a bargain that they chose to not be like fully known. I don't think that it is a privilege to not allow yourself to be fully known. Like people pretend like it is, but I don't feel that way. I feel like, again, if you're doing the math between like would I be treated a different way if I shared this about myself, it's not neutral and uncoerced that you decide that you can't share that about yourself. Like it's sad that you're not able to share that about yourself, and I'm not going to hold it against you that there's like a sad thing in your dynamic with your family. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat. Yes, yeah, Schmouter. Oh my God, that's a really, really good way to put it. Having to choose between safety and authenticity tells me that you're not as privileged as you think. I think that's a really, really astute way of phrasing it. Yeah, safety over authenticity is valid. I completely agree. I'm crying. Stop validating me. I'm sorry for making you cry. um, Doodle skadoodle. Each day I try to get closer to coming out as trans and queer to my mom, my dad. I don't know. I'm terrified. Do you have any advice for how to face the backlash I'm expecting? Again, like I don't. I think, as I've said, like I think it's okay also if you're not ready for that. And I think it's okay if you are. Like I I ended up having, I think, like a slightly better experience than I was expecting from my parents once I didn't live with them anymore. And it was specifically only because I did not live with them. Like, my mother was threatening me with conversion therapy when she thought that I was gay when I lived with her. But when I lived with my aunt and I came out, it was, oh, I'm so proud of you. You've always known who you are. And so I think, like, to some extent, you can't really predict it. And then to another extent, I don't think that it is. I don't think that it's terrible if you're worth if you think it's worth whatever terrible thing you're predicting. I think that also makes sense. And I love what Sunny is saying. Yeah, have a backup plan if things go wrong, but also know that you're so loved. Be practical but steadfast. Like, you have every right to come out. I think coming out is a really beautiful and incredible thing. And also, if you feel really genuinely scared about it, like, it's okay. It's okay to take a beat. It's okay to make sure that you're ready. And we all love you very much, and we support you very much here in the Nuance Corner. Yeah, yeah, the problem, I didn't come out as trans until I'd moved out. It went fine. I didn't expect it to, but they were both incredibly accepting. I think, well, I know. I know from how my experience went when my mother was told and relayed a joke that I had made about being bi-curious or whatever. Like, I know that it would have gone very, very differently for me. had I come out while I lived with her. Like that was it was just genuinely not an option for me. And that's another reason why like I will never sit here and put my nose up at somebody who is who needs to prioritize their safety and their well-being. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I need to move out before I come out. I think that's my safest option realistically. Thank you guys for the advice and support. Of course. We love you. I'm sorry about that. Like I know it's also like it's not a guarantee that it'll go differently after you move out than it would while you still live there, but like I do think in a lot of cases when there's less of a sense of like possessiveness and ownership, and they can see you as like an adult who's like on your own, they might feel like there's less that they can say even if they do disapprove or disagree, and that might make it, I think, more like, I don't know, a little bit less friction, I think. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm kind of struggling with words tonight. I hope that this is still helpful. Yeah, being an adult took the pressure off of them to be like, can we make this kid normal? It's dangerous to be queer, which is fucked, but a common instinct. Yeah. Oh, this is also really good advice. If you can schedule something for afterwards, it really helps. I went to get coffee with my bestie after I told my dad so I could have a big hug. Yeah, that would be a really good thing. Yeah. 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 I think it's that advice of like scheduling something for like afterwards, I think is actually really really good advice. Obviously, if we're planning on waiting a while, it's not as necessary right now, but like I'm a big fan of like rewarding myself after something that I know is going to be difficult, with like being able to spend time with somebody, or even just like telling the people in my life that I'm about to do something that is scary and hard. It makes it a lot easier to do it because you're thinking to yourself that you get to see that person later, and that they can be proud of you. And yeah, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for the fact that you're even thinking about it. I'm proud of you for thinking about the way to do it most safely. I'm proud of you for thinking about how to prioritize your safety. I think those are all really important things. I only came out when I moved out and was financially independent, even though I really didn't need to. And I think I was 22. Yeah, exactly. You're so valid for protecting your peace and giving yourself time just to be. I agree. I knew that even if the worst happened, I'd have my therapist by my side. That guy is based as hell. That's half of why I even felt comfortable. I love that. I love that a lot. Remember Sagula? I think about Sagula all the time. Oh my god. I didn't even make an Edward Cullen Justin Baldoni joke in the in the Breaking Dawn video. Um, yeah. I also cannot imagine how scary it would be in 2025. That's the other thing, is like when I when I needed when I ended up coming out, that was in like 2015, 2016, which was like a good time. It was a good time to decide to come out. And I mean, I think there's not necessarily like a horrible time. It's always good. It's always a good time, but it's it's a weird time right now, and it's okay if things feel weird and scary. I swear this isn't a brag, I'm just being real, but for a while I felt like a fraud because I didn't have a hard time coming out. My whole family was like, yeah, we've been new, and just shrugged, which isn't a bad thing, but for a while I felt off. No, for real, like everybody's experience is going to be so different depending on like what their family is, and also what expectations that family had of them. So like my family clearly had some level of expectation that I would be gay. They just didn't want me to, and they didn't like it. But I feel like if other people are putting off as many signals as I did as a little gay baby, and their parents don't care, then it's like you would be prepared by the time it happens. Shout out to my therapist who's been practicing working in mental health since the 80s and smokes a pipe and wears funky pattern shirts. Thank you so much for this super chat. Shout out to your therapist. I love a funky pattern shirt so much. Yeah, I think I don't know. I think all the time about my grandmother telling me that basically, sweetie, we've been new when I said that I was gay. I don't know. I don't know. I try hard to think about, like, do I even know any children who I'm already saying I think are gay? Because one of my aunts told me, one of my aunts who's also very Christian told me that she said she used to pray that my mother would have a gay child, because she hated my mom, and my mom was a big old homophobe, and my mom was a big old homophobe who, like, called one of my other cousins a slur, like a homophobic slur, like my mom was evil. So my Aunt Lana told me at one point that she used to pray that my mother would be punished with a gay child, and I was that gay child. Which I think about quite often. um, I don't know how somebody who was praying for a gay child to punish somebody would have done with their own gay child. But I think about that quite frequently. I think that's maybe the most effective prayer anybody ever did for me. Amen, brother. Yeah, exactly. It's sad that having a good experience feels like fraud because suffering is not a requisite for queerness. I completely agree. Suffering is not a prerequisite for queerness. You are completely right. I agree. Oh, fuck Ronald Reagan. Do you all know about my Ronald Reagan t-shirt? Do I have that? I'm wearing an ACT UP shirt right now. This is the kissing doesn't kill, greed and ignorance does. This is the lesbians who are kissing on that bus ad. I got this at like a little gay shop in Provincetown in Massachusetts. So this is an ACT UP tank top, but I have a Reagan t-shirt. I think it's clean. Hang on. I gotta look. I gotta see if I have it. Aha! I do. So I haven't worn this in videos because I when I'm like far back and you can't see the whole thing, it just looks like it's a t-shirt that has Ronald Reagan on it. But it says dig him up and shoot him again. They don't sell this on Redbubble anymore. They don't sell this anymore on Redbubble. I have looked for it again to send people the link because whenever I wear this, people love it. For a very, very long time, my Venmo shirt, my Venmo profile picture was like me, like smiling, looking down at the Reagan dig him up and shoot him again shirt. I wear this shit all the time. I wear it constantly. One time, I was wearing this shirt when a police officer came to my apartment to do a wellness check on my roommate, and I ended up having to interact with the police officer while wearing this shirt, and the police officer said, were you a Mondale fan, I take it? And I said, Hinckley, actually. That's maybe my favorite shirt, but I haven't actually worn it in a video yet because I feel like the optics of wearing a shirt where, unless I am sitting very, very straight, you can't see the shoot him again. I'm not sure how it comes across, but that is one of my favorite shirts of all time. Also, honestly, Cop was pretty quick to be able to make a Mondale joke. Unfortunately, I was just a little bit quicker with Hinckley. When I was in private Christian high school, our dean would get on the loudspeaker and give a Ronald Reagan quote of the day every single day. And Jesus Christ. That's so much. Hi guys, my name is Ovi YouTube Videos. I am a feminist and a lesbian. I make conversational commentary videos about both of those things. The bottom of this shirt says, shoot him again. Reagan was objectively one of our more evil presidents in a long line of evil presidents. Ronald Reagan is like mostly responsible for the mishandling of the AIDS crisis in the United States. Like he directly asked the CDC to look pretty and do as little as possible and allow gay people to die from HIV and AIDS. The like demonization in the United States, we have a lot of demonization around like quote unquote welfare queens. That is all very, very Reagan era. He was fucking evil. Hate that guy so much. Like there's pretty much like everyone will always say like you can look at like almost any issue in this country, and Ronald Reagan is the source of it. Like it started under Reagan, or it was worsened under Reagan. I believe like our student loan issues also, just horrible. Yeah, he's super bad guy. Yeah. Yeah, Ronald Reagan also introduced crack into poor communities, correct. Yeah. Thank you so much for this super chat. First most evil Trump, second most evil Reagan. I think it's going to be a lot of I think it's going to be genuinely difficult to pick out like Reagan or Trump who does more damage and whose damage is like seen for longer. But also a lot of the Trump damage is Reagan damage, basically, right? Because like we think about oh, Tanya Harding's Stan account. That is an amazing account name. I love that. Ronald Reagan is also the reason why we no longer have publicly funded universities. That's correct. Yeah. So I was going to say, though, if you think about, like, Donald Trump's whole thing is, like, make America great again. The again that he's talking about is, like, like, Reagan era, almost usually when people are talking about like America being great or whatever, they're thinking about Reagan in a positive way, even though like the left understands how fucking evil Reagan is. I agree, Nixon, Andrew Jackson. Like I said, it's like there is a long list of evil fucking presidents. Like it's not at all. But yeah, you have like a direct line from like Nixon, Reagan, and Trump. Like it all comes together. I think Reagan also literally used "Make America Great Again," didn't he? Like I think not only is Trump saying "Make America Reagan Again," but I'm pretty sure "Make America Great Again" was already a Republican talking point. Yeah, I can't imagine what, like, I'm sure that there are other things in like other countries that like provide as much context as Reagan does, but I feel like a lot of the very specific ways that a lot of very specific ways that Reagan was evil is just like it contextualizes a lot about America right now. Yeah, I think he was "Make America Great." I think you're right. Yeah, Trump is blatantly anti-constitution. As a Latin American, I'm sorry to announce, but all American presidents are evil, some more than others. Exactly. Yeah. No, I can't even say like, oh, there's a good one. I'm just saying oh my goodness, I just got a sorry, I just got a coffee. Thank you so much. I got a coffee from the pup. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Andrew Jackson is keeping hell very warm. He certainly is. One thing I will give old Ronnie is that he did fight for stricter gun laws after he was short of a shot, of course, but still. We'll never forget when me and my tech teacher went from yapping about Batman to how Reagan was awful for health services. Love that man. Yes. Forgot Andrew Jackson, Jackson, Trump, Reagan. That's my ranking. I'm unfortunately distantly related to Jackson. Very, very interesting. Thank you so much for this super chat. Yeah, Andrew Jackson, fucking evil. Oh, yeah, presidents aren't even where it ends. Strom Thurmond lost his seat in the Senate for my state when I was in kindergarten, and that motherfucker still ran on segregation. Yeah, that shit's crazy. That shit's crazy. Republicans eroding our education, which led us here. People got dumber because of Republican small federal government bullshit. As an American, fuck America. Yeah, me too. Don't forget James Buchanan, our first worst gay president. One time, so I mentioned earlier I used to go to like a little queer youth center in Seattle. There was like a box that had a bunch of index cards people had written like gay figures on. And one time I was like looking at it with my ex-girlfriend, and I saw James Buchanan, and I, for some reason, it didn't occur to me there was a president. I forgot Bucky Barnes' last name, but I remembered that his first two names were James Buchanan. So I forgot James Buchanan Barnes, and I was like, did somebody put Bucky from the Avengers in this list of gay people from the history? And then she was laughing, she was laughing at me a lot because it was James Buchanan the president, not James Buchanan with the metal arm. Thank you for this super chats. I feel much the same way. To be fair, Bucky Barnes is gay. To be fair, Bucky Barnes is certainly gay. He deserves to be in the list of gay people from history. I was just confused how he was there and Steve wasn't, I guess. Rendered fat, you cannot be embarrassed because I just told you that I didn't even know. I didn't even know about James Buchanan president. I only knew about James Buchanan Bucky. Sebastian Stan's Bucky is unfortunately my celebrity crush, even though I could not give a fuck about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love Sebastian Stan as Bucky. I haven't seen Thunderbolts, but I'm interested in seeing it, and I could not have been interested in it if I didn't know that it had both Florence Pugh, Miss Flo. If it didn't have Miss Flo and Bucky Barnes, I would not have been interested. But then I got an ad for it, and I saw it had those two in it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll watch that. Fuck it, I'll watch it. Fine. Which is how I feel most of the time when I end up watching a Marvel thing. But I really loved Florence Pugh in that Black Widow movie. I think I liked the Black Widow movie a lot more than I thought I would. I've been hearing that it's really good. I've been hearing that it's really fun. I really want to see it. I also really, really want to see Sinners. Oh my god, I want to see Sinners so bad. I think it's about, like, vampires and stuff. I've been told to know as little as possible going into it, so I haven't looked much into it, but I have been hearing that Sinners is amazing. I would love to see Sinners. Let me explain the Bucky love. He looks so afraid as the Winter Soldier, and it's Chef's kiss. I understand it. I don't always understand it, but I understand it. I think I've joked before on a live stream that, like, I need male characters to cry for me to be endeared by them, or maybe I said that in my video about the interview scene in Catching Fire. And I don't think Bucky really cries, but Bucky does suffer. Bucky suffers in a way that I find enjoyable to watch. I can't lie. The moral of Sinners is white music is evil. I get it. I didn't even know there was a new Superman coming out in July. We're seeing Sinners with my fiance's grandparents for Mother's Day, and I'm so excited. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm really excited to see it. I think he gets moist eyes at least. Bucky is a soaking wet meow meow. Bucky is absolutely a soaking wet meow meow. He 100% is. Yeah, Bucky Barnes was one of my safe maybe I like this man before it came out. Yeah, yes. Bucky Barnes he's up there with Peter Millark. He literally is. He's up there where it's like, maybe this fictional guy, not so bad, also not real, but maybe not so bad. I need my men to be creaturous. Thank you for this super chat. There is male suffering in Thunderbolts. That's very exciting. God, the people who think that I'm like a total misandrist are gonna go wild with that. But like, I like it when men cry and things. I wouldn't have watched so many seasons of This Is Us if I didn't like it when men cried and things. That's another thing. What, like, I don't understand how I watched all of This Is Us, but I certainly did, and I sometimes wonder if it would be interesting to make a video about, like, what the fuck was This Is Us, because it's, like, emotional torture porn. Like, you watch that show to be made sad, and yet I watched it. Yum, yum, yum. I ate that up. Why did I eat that up? Why was I watching that every week when it came out? Why, like, season 2, maybe it's the first one. One of the seasons of This Is Us is like, watch the dad die in a crock pot fire. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll watch that. Why? But they cry. And it's nice when they cry. I like Kevin on This Is Us, and I like Randall, and I like it when they cry, so I kept watching. The fact that Flaw had 3 gorgeous MCU men in front of her and asked to do it stink. Literally, and they're like, why did you ask that? And she's not as mad at that as she was about your little bump. How did I watch all 4 seasons of 13 Reasons Why? I get it. Yeah. I made myself stop watching in the middle of 13 Reasons Why because I was like, oh, I'm punishing myself with this, I think. But yeah. Something about vulnerable men makes me want to care for them. I just like to see it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Living Dead Girl, I meant to bring up Pan Bagley's interview on Call Her Daddy. He brought up the womb! Oh my god. There was a womb world mention in chat earlier and I forgot to talk about it. He brought up the womb. Womb slip. He spoke of his wife's pregnancy like a Baldoni clone, but knew to tone it down. That's so interesting. We should watch that. We should watch that on another live stream. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to go tonight, but we should watch that on a live stream. I think that would be really interesting. I wonder if we could just get away with recycling our beautiful Baldingo cards also for watching other Baha'i celebrities. Like if we took a Baldingo card and we saw if we could fill that up from Penn Bagley and from Penn Bagley and Rainn Wilson. Hello, I'm writing an essay for my master's about the alt-right pipeline for women and using your chat with Taylor Lorenz as reference. Excited to watch more of your videos once I hand in my paper. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. That's really cool. That's really neat. Yeah, I feel like we might be able to repurpose. I also really need to sorry, I keep losing my train of thought. But I need to find more things that we can watch, so that we can continue using the Baldingo cards. Have a good night. It was nice to hang out. I updated them so maybe they're more Baldoni specific, but I feel like we could get away with it. Yeah, I think we could. I think there's probably more Baldoni videos we can watch. But we'll see. Um, Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we can watch the Penn Bagley Call Her Daddy podcast at some point. That would be interesting. I wonder if every Baha'i celebrity has kind of been giving talking points that like either they need to be anti Blake or they need to not be pro Blake right now, because I do feel like that church is very involved in this whole PR thing. I really think that's the case. Penn refused to film sex scenes on You after season 2, and this was for Baha'i reasons. That's interesting. I know I with the timeline, some people were saying that like, oh, because I don't know. Oh my goodness. I think you'll be one of the feminist thinkers. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you to say. I really appreciate all your super chats. I hope you don't feel like you have to you have to keep sending money just so I'll see your chats, but I really appreciate it. That's really kind of you. Thank you. They got orders from the Beehive. Oh, but I was gonna say, at the beginning of all of the Blake Justin bullshit, there were people saying like, oh, maybe she was obsessed with Justin because she's obsessed with her ex who was also Baha'i. But I don't think that Penn Bagley was Baha'i while he was with Blake. I think he was like just a normal secular guy, and then he became Baha'i later. Oh, he won't kiss not wife. Interesting. Interesting. Mm-hmm. I've been thinking about this a little bit because there are many people who find men suffering attractive or compelling because there are a lot of journey paintings of Saint Sebastian. Is that supposed to be horny paintings or is it journey? People are certainly horny for Saint Sebastian, you're right. Um, that's one of my favorite Mountain Goats songs. It's called "Hail Saint Sebastian." It's an unreleased one. You can find it on YouTube. Um, thank you very much. Amanda Ripley, the author of High Conflict, is Baha'i. That explains the weird religious propaganda section of that book. That's so interesting, huh? Interesting, because in 2023 he already somewhat attributed his staying dry / sober to Blake, right? I think you're right. I think I have seen that as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Penn was recruited to Baha'i at the peak of his fame, kind of around the time him and Blake broke up. He talks about it a bit on Call Her Daddy. The timelines. Huh. Very interesting. They were like, that guy is, I got tagged on Blue Sky. Tagged you on Blue Sky, male suffering. I just have excess money, lol, don't worry about it. Thank you. Let me see, what did I get? Is it loading? I just have a black screen, hang on. Yeah, Sad Fox, I just have a black screen when I try to pull up your thing. I'll probably see it later. I 100% think that it's like a low budget Scientology. Like that is so much my understanding. And also it makes me think of the stuff that my friend Kaya was saying in that interview that we did about Mormonism, where they were saying, Mormonism is a pretty new religion, but there's like a lot done to tie it into older things. I feel like that makes sense with what I've seen with the way that people try to kind of like justify Baha'i, even though it's a more old religion too, that they've been like finding ways to reach into the past and be like, well, this actually also supports Baha'i. I think it's very interesting. I think I find it so comforting for men showing emotions because it's so rare, like seeing a team with more than one woman or more than one non-white actor. Yeah, it is really rare. Can we get a pony for the chat? Can I just put a pony emoji? Is there a pony? Is there no pony emoji? Horse. Wesley in the Pit of Despair was too formative for me. That's real. That's real. Oh, I really like Princess Bride. I should rewatch Princess Bride. It's been a really long time since I've seen that movie. When I lived in Seattle, there was like a what did they change it called? It's called like Museum of Pop Culture or something like that now. I don't remember what it used to be called, but it's there was like a Museum of Pop Culture thing where I went on one of my first dates ever, and they had like I just saw Sad Fox, your male suffering mood board. That's so funny. Yeah, that's true. Anyway, I remember there were like, I think there were like costume bits from those movies, which was cool to see. But those movies rule. Those movies, it's just one, but that movie rules. And that is for sure. Speaking outside of my own culture, since I'm a lesbian, I can say it is that's a bisexuals movie. Like I appreciate it, I enjoy it, but I feel as though the Princess Bride as a movie belongs culturally to the bisexuals, and that I'm only enjoying it. It is cultural appreciation for me as a lesbian to enjoy Princess Bride, because it's mostly bisexuals who like it. Jojo, you want to come say hi? Where is she? She's asleep on the bed. I just want to show her. They can't even see you, baby. Nobody even can see you. You don't want to come here? I'm gonna bother her. Jojo, come here. I bought you treats and everything over there. Yeah, everybody wants to see you. Everybody wants to see you, and you don't even want to let them. Say hi. Say hello. Hi, baby. Will you say hi? Let them see your beautiful face. Okay. A meow meow emoji, but it's not soaking wet. I love this meow meow emoji. Where did this even come from? Oh my god. I've never even noticed that before. It's so cute. It does look like JoJo. Look at that baby girl. Look at that baby. She's only just now noticing the treats that I put out for her when I started streaming 2 hours ago. I love her socks so much. She has like little holes in her socks and everything. Like there's like little brown and orange spots. It's so cute. Look at that baby. She's so nice. We need a world emoji. Can't explain why the mummy breaks the minds of bisexuals, but it does. Like it was designed in a lab to do so. Oh yeah. Yeah. The Mummy is also a bisexual culture movie. Yes. Hi, kitty. Look at that baby. You want this? We've been playing a lot with this crinkle ball toy. She really likes it. You get that? Show them how good you are at getting that. No. Hi. You are so cute. Pirates of the Caribbean was my real bipocalypse. Keira Knightley is so fucking hot. Keira Knightley is so hot that she made me feel uncomfortable in a way that I couldn't put my finger on for several years, and then I was like, oh. Hi, baby. Wow. I really like her when she hangs out. That's nice. That's a nice baby. Mine's a munchkin tabby, got the little legs. Oh. Good job. Yeah. Good job. That was amazing. That was so cool. You dropped it over the side. You're the most special girl I've ever seen. Did everyone see that? She got it in her mouth. Whoa! Whoa, she's so fucking cool. Yeah. Cool. Amazing. Kira in the wet shift when Sparrow is holding her hostage. My eyes were glued, respectively. Do you want that? She purrs so much. I bet you probably can't hear it from over there, but when I like hold this up in front of her for her to get it, she's purring. Wow, good job. Oh, wow, amazing baby. Cool. I love my cat. I love her so much. You want that? Good job. Wow! She just dropped it right into my hand. Good job, baby. That's amazing. I love when she carries stuff around so much. Probably one of my favorite things about having a cat. You want this? You want that? Come here. You're like not completely in the frame, even though this is really cute. Yeah, you want it? What? Okay. She lost interest because I just banged my elbow against the desk and now she's distracted. What do you see? Oh, she's nice. Hi, baby. You want attention? She wants attention so bad. I think she's a little lonely that I'm not paying attention to her. Want to get that? No, she don't really want to. That's okay. Oh no, I'm sorry about your cat, Lady Kittybug. Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley had such a crazy high-profile cast. Absolutely. That movie is so good. I really like. I know Hugh Dancy is very often like one of the more popular Darcy pulls, but I really like that guy who played Darcy in 2005 Pride and Prejudice, and I like Jenna Malone as Lydia. That's a great movie. I love that movie. Hi, baby! You got that crinkle ball again? That's amazing. Okay, let's throw it again. All right. I think maybe I should go hang out with my cat. But this was really, really fun. I really love streaming and hanging out with everybody. Thank you so much for all of the super chats. Thank you so much for that big coffee donation that I got earlier too while I was streaming. That's really kind of you. You're all so generous and amazing, and I love you very much. Let me know. This will stay up so you can like leave like actual comments, but like other Baldoni bingos we should do. I think we can watch like the episode that his wife did of Man Enough. We can certainly use our Baldoni bingo cards for that. And then I do want to look at the Penn Bagley thing and all of that. So yeah, this was great though. This was really nice. It was really nice to hang out with everybody. Thanks for giving me so much fun when I wanted to socialize. And I'll see you soon. I might stream again tomorrow, depending on how my head ends up feeling. But yeah, Thank you for hanging out. I love you. Bye.